Hello, welcome to the replay of our intro to Clubhouse that we did with Martin County Realtors of the Treasure Coast. If you're watching this, you're on our YouTube channel, and we hope you guys enjoyed this video. It is going to be where people are asking questions. We're going to have kind of hands-on, but this class we are excited to host with everyone. So we hope you guys enjoy this video. We will also do timestamps of the different sections of the video where you guys can re-watch different pieces. And if you guys ever have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and we will respond. And if you ever have any questions, you can always reach out to me as well. My information is in the description of this video. Hope that you guys enjoy, and make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, we're gonna get into the class now. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna get started now. I am going to share my screen. You guys can see that. Let me get up my chat so I can see you guys if you guys got questions. Feel free at any time to stop me if you have any questions, or unmute or ask me something in the chat. And if I'm going too fast, just let me know. All right, where's the chat? Why is the chat not coming up? Oh, there it is. Hold on, let me go back. There it is. Okay, my chat was like delaying for some reason and not coming up. Okay, there it is. All right, now I can see you guys is on the chat. Okay. All right, so guys, Clubhouse. I am so excited to talk about this today. Fabiola knows that I have been quite obsessed with this app, and it has brought a lot of attention. It's gotten a lot of attention in the last like 6 months or so. So I'm sure you guys have maybe heard of it if you are joining here today, or maybe you were curious, because I did put that it is the one of the fastest growing apps right now. And it's definitely the newest thing that's coming up. So I'm really excited to talk about this today. Now, introduction to Clubhouse, it is a drop-in audio chat. And I do want to thank Martin County Realtors of the Treasure Coast for allowing us to host this class. It is something that is all the rage right now. But before we get into that, let me tell you guys a little bit about me. I know there's a couple of new faces here that I haven't seen before. My name is Lucie McGuire. I am the Business Development Officer of Arrow Title Services. We handle real estate closings, as you guys know, with title. And I have really delved into this world of social media. Throughout COVID, we have been pivoting and doing live videos with local realtors and lenders, and just trying to get information out there to the public in any which way that we can, educating people about title. We started a YouTube channel that has great information on it. We post all of our classes there, or majority that we can on there. And social media has really been something that I have used to help all of my clients, or just people in general, because it is one thing that is very important in our society today. And this is a quote that I always like to say in all of my classes. And this is something that I say all the time, is that the one thing in life that is constant is change. And we really do have to adapt, especially in the real estate world. Like, we have to adapt so much. And we have had to do that in the last year and a half. So this is just another one of those adaptations when it comes to social media. And I'm excited to be able to share it with you guys today. And for you guys taking the first step to being here today, that shows that you guys are willing to take that change and that step. So I'm excited for that. So why Clubhouse? Why is Clubhouse different than every other social media? Why should you even pay attention to it? Well, it is an easier social media than I'd say any other social media, in the sense that every other social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, you have to post. You have to take time to post, right? You have to, create content. You have to, write something about it, whatever it might be. And then you've got to put it out there, and you're hoping that people are going to see it, right? So there's obviously great strategies that you guys can utilize with those social media platforms, but what's really nice and easy about this app, it's completely audio. You go into these rooms, which we'll go into a little bit later. You go into rooms and you are talking with individuals all around the world, and you're spreading your influence to other people. You are adding value to the conversations, and you are having conversations and meeting people that you may have never ever met before, which is kind of the point of social media, right? Is to be able to connect people that you would never be able to connect with in person, or maybe just spreading that reach that you're trying to grow, right? So with Clubhouse, I think really the pandemic, and Clubhouse was created before the pandemic started. So they didn't expect, I don't know how successful this would have been had the pandemic not happened. It could have been just as successful, but I think the pandemic actually really helped it because people were like in their houses itching to get out. And they wanted to connect. Everybody wants that connection with people. They want that authentic ability to be able to have a conversation with people. And the pandemic made it really hard with people staying in their homes, not being able to go to social events anymore, not being able to like just be around really large groups of people. Let's see. And so it was a social media that I think the world needed. For multiple reasons. And as you can see, May 2020, they had barely any users on the platform. December 2020, they had about 600,000 weekly users. And then all the way to April now, this last April, 10 million users in such a short period of time. So, and this is only invite only. So this isn't, anybody in the world can go and, download this app and get onto this app. This app is like, you have to know somebody. I invited Fabiola to the app. It's like, I had to say, hey, Fabiola, you should join this, send her an invite. I only get a specific amount of invites. So they really did a smart aspect of trying to make it like, oh, you got to have the who's know who's type of thing where you have to know someone to get in, but also the fact that they weren't trying to overwhelm their servers because it is in beta mode. So like, it was kind of like they needed to do that to be able to get through all of the different aspects with the app and making sure the app is going to run smoothly to be able to open it up, because these creators are not like Facebook and Instagram, like they're not like huge people who have been doing social media already. They really wanted to change the aspect of social media, and they have done that with the audio aspect, and you guys will see that. Right now it is iPhone only, but they actually just started doing beta testing for the Android. So they're rolling that out to a few Android users that have signed up previously in past months and such, and they're going to be continually to rolling that out as well. So this is like an amazing time to get on right now, because the people who are on right now only have iPhones. And so when Android gets on, there's going to be a huge rush of people coming on, because there's a bunch of people on Android that literally they're like, well, what do I do? And it's like, get an iPhone? I don't know. And there are some people who have. So again, the making it scarce. So yeah, we are going into just like what that audio aspect is, and you guys will get to see a little bit about what that audio actually does and how it connects people. Now, what we're going to learn today, we're going to go into the basics. I'm going to show you guys some strategies you guys can use on Clubhouse. You guys are going to need an invite. So if you haven't already got an invite, me and Fabiola are going to help you with that. And we're going to invite each other so that you guys can all get onto it and see and kind of walk through what we're doing right now. Navigating through the app, what are clubs and rooms, creating effective bios, and how to grow a network on the app and such. And if you guys, again, have any questions throughout it, and you guys are walking through and you kind of just have a question, it is completely different than every other social media. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, because it's just laid out a lot different. But we'll go over all of those aspects, and you guys get to learn all of that. So let's get started with actually inviting you guys onto the app. So me and Fabiola, each of us have an invite that we are going to send. I see Marsh said she had to walk away, or said that he had to walk away for 2 seconds. So Stephanie, Patty, do you have, who isn't on Clubhouse right now? has anyone gotten onto Clubhouse and then they just haven't? Okay, Patty is already on Clubhouse. Great. What about Patty Rena? Are you on Clubhouse yet? No. Okay, great. Okay, so then Patty Rena, could you go ahead and put your phone number in the chat? And Fabiola, do you have do you just want to invite Patty? Does that work? Or do you want a Stephanie, or who do you want? Or Renee, do you want to get on I know you work for the board, but do you want an invite as well, Renee? Can you hear me? Okay, Renee. All right. I'm just wanting to see how it works, not necessarily to invite me. Okay. Stephanie. Okay. All righty, no problem. So I will go ahead and invite Stephanie then. And then Marsh, if you're back, let us know. Just because we wanted to, like, one of the values of this was as well as getting an app. So I'm going to invite Stephanie to the club right now.
Show how the invite works
yes.
on the screen?
Yes.
Because,
yeah. I'm looking forward to learning how to use it. Great. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen really quick, and then I'm going to show you guys what it looks like on my screen as I am inviting you guys. All right. So now you guys can see my screen. This is the app that I've opened up. So I will go ahead and close that out so that you guys can see. So you go right into the app, and then you see the little star with the mail at the top. So I'm going to click on that. And then it says, you know, I have 7 invites, which it just gave me new ones. So that's nice. I didn't realize I had that many. And then it goes ahead and you can search or invite by a phone number. So I already have Stephanie in my phone. So I will go ahead and put Stephanie, and then it tells me, okay, she has 14 friends on Clubhouse. Congratulations, Stephanie, you have 14 friends on Clubhouse. And I'll go ahead and click invite next to it. And then I just click hit send. So she's already invited. It just sent her a text message because I already had her on my phone. If I didn't have her in my phone already, then I could just put in her phone number and send it that way, and it will auto generate a text message. So that is how you invite someone to the app. Stephanie will, when she receives that, it will go ahead and throw her through the process of creating a profile. And we're going to talk about the different aspects of the profile when we're going over the bio that are important to utilize. When you are going through the invite process, it is going to, and I'll stop sharing this for right now. Or actually, let's see. Actually, no, I'm going to keep this up because I'm about to go over this in just a second. Yes, you need to download the app, Stephanie. And it should prompt you to do that. Even if you click on the link, it'll prompt you to do that. So, all right, let's see. This is, get out of this, see where I can get to my screen. Okay, there it is. With the, when you get the invite, it'll ask you to download a picture to the app, put in a bio, attach your Instagram, which you can always do later. It will ask you to follow people, which you don't have to follow everyone. You kind of want to make sure who you're following is someone that you're actually interested in, because that's going to dictate what's in your hallway. What I'm saying right now might sound like mumbo jumbo, so I'm about to explain it right now. But those aspects, it's going to run you through it. And Stephanie, while you're going through that process of kind of just clicking in and getting to your profile, go ahead and let me know if you have any questions of anything that comes up that confuses you as well with that. So for Patty, who already has the app, and Patty Rena, who is watching, and Renee, Marsh, are you back yet? I just wanted to make sure we weren't forgetting you. No. Okay. All right, that's fine. So we will continue on then, and navigating the app. So the biggest things to notate when you're navigating the app, this is the home page. So this is the hallway that you guys are going to see when you get into the app. And Patty K, if you're following along on your phone, then you can kind of like navigate and see like what I'm doing as well if you want, or you can watch my screen. So this is your hallway. When you get into the app, you're going to you can scroll through and you'll be able to see like different rooms that are available. These are all different rooms. These are all live right now. What's going on, topics that are being happened with people all over the world right here, right now. So when I go into a room, it will put me into the stage area and everything. I will go over that in 2 seconds. We'll come back to that. But what I want to go over is the top search bar. So the different aspects that you guys can utilize in the app here. So you see that little magnifying glass in the top left corner. I'm going to click on that. This is the explore feature. So you're able to find people, find clubs. This is a great way for you to navigate and kind of see what's on the app. You can literally go down here to the bottom. One will suggest people for you to follow right here that you can go ahead and follow. Or you can go ahead to the bottom here where it says find conversations about, and then you can click on, let's say, hustle. And then what it will do is it will pull up clubs that have that in its bio or whatever it might be, that's signifying that hustle is that aspect that they are focusing on. Other topics to explore, like you can go explore specific topics. So these are all the clubs that have hustle as their key points on their club. So if I go to real estate, I'm underneath the subcategory of hustle and I'm underneath real estate. When you are actually setting up your app, and you can go back and change this and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. When you're setting up, it's going to ask you what your interests are. So you want to make sure you go through those interests, make sure you say, okay, you know, I'm obviously a realtor, real estate. So real estate would be one. Do some other interests that you enjoy. You want to make sure that you guys are navigating in the app, not just through real estate. We all know that in our lives here in real estate, you have to give a little piece of yourself to just social media and everything. If people just think you're just real estate, like they have nothing to be able to relate with you, right? So you always want to find those pieces of connection. So if you're a huge runner, utilize that, look up running clubs or whatever, get a part of those clubs. But we'll go into that a little bit with the networking and such. So these different clubs, when you click onto a club and you follow that club, you're able to get notified of when the club has different rooms that they're hosting or people are opening up rooms in there. You can also see the people who have started or been in that club, and you can go ahead and check out their profiles by clicking on them. You can click back and everything like that. So these are great ways to just kind of navigate, see some things that interest you. If you're a woman in real estate, you might want to follow that club and get into that club. Each of these clubs have different rules. So you'll see right underneath the name that there is rules, and you'll be able to see like what they like for their club. So if there's something specific that they're looking for to be able to add you as a member, et cetera, et cetera. And that'll give you a basis of like how to act in their rooms. Are there more choices in the arts? So Stephanie just asked if there were more choices in the arts. Right now, it has been limited to what you see right there. So I'll go ahead right now to that so you guys can see what that looks like. So if you go to your profile, which is in the top right corner where your profile picture is, and you click on that, it will bring you to your profile. As you guys can see, I have 4,300 followers on this app. I do a lot in the travel sphere, and I've been in real estate rooms as well, but I've only been on this app for a few months, and it's been absolutely incredible for me. I've been able to connect with so many people, and it's been awesome. If you click on the top right corner again, where the little gear is, you'll be able to see in the second section where it says account and interests, you click on interests. And then this is what it's going to ask you to choose like your different interests. So your identity with what you want to have conversations pop up about, whether that be, you know, women, millennials, baby boomers, disabled, Gen X, whatever. different places you can put. Oh, look, see. So Stephanie actually just joined, and I'm gonna actually do that in just 1 second. So I'm gonna leave that up there for 2 seconds, but you see how it notified me? So it says, you know, hey, she just joined the app because I invited her, and if I'm able to walk her through it. So right here, you can see the hanging out. If you want to mingle in those aspects, there's the world affairs if you find interest in those, sports, wellness, and you just pull these to the side to be able to see all the different ones, the different tech aspects, the arts. So you can scroll if you just swipe to the left or the right, and you can see more aspects. And then the hustle aspect, life, obviously you can see if it's, you click on it, if it brings it up blue, then that's, and this helps with your profile as well with your hallway. Let's see. How do you get to interest? Is it under find conversations about? No, it is not. Okay, hold on. So you go back, again, you click on your profile. So you're on the main page here. You click on the top right corner where your profile picture is. You click on the top right corner with the gear. You click on interests right there in the middle where it says 30. Got it? Great, cool. All right, and then these are all the different aspects. So you go through here, click as many as you'd like, and then this will help them know what you are trying to have conversations about. Again, don't just do real estate, like do ones that are gonna be whatever you're interested in, as many as you'd like, because that will help you get connected with people in the app. Also in this setting aspect, you can change your notifications. Some of the notifications get kind of crazy. So you can change the frequency at the top to be very frequent, normal, infrequent, or very infrequent, that you actually get notifications. The more places that you follow and such like that, the more notifications it can give you. And then you can also add, like, if you want trending rooms to notify you, et cetera, et cetera. You can also, hold on. You can also pause notifications if you want to, and then you'll be able to see every week they pretty much do an update. So right down here where you see where it says what's new, in the third little section there at the top, if you click on that, it will actually bring you to a page where it shows you all the different changes that they've done for that week. So sometimes they have different changes and everything, but you don't really have to worry about that right now. So going back to the hallway, this is what's called the hallway, and exploring these different rooms. If you scroll all the way down and you see no rooms that you're interested in, whatever it might be, there will be this little explore button at the bottom. So you can click that explore button and it will bring up even more rooms for you that you might be interested in. So that's an aspect to keep in mind as well. You can start rooms. You don't have to have a club. You don't have to have any specific following. Anybody who can start a room can. So at the bottom right here, you see that you can start that room. As you become parts of clubs and everything like that, you can actually host rooms in clubs. You can make it open, you can make it social, which is just for people you follow. You can make it closed where it's like just with people that you specifically choose. So if I wanted to just have a conversation with Fabiola, Patty, and Stephanie, I can go ahead and do that and choose the people that I want to have a conversation with, and you can create a conversation right there. It's almost like just being on a what's it called, a conference call type of thing. So it's really versatile in the different types of rooms that you can do. So going into the actual rooms, let me show you what a room looks like, right? So I'm going to, I saw that Stephanie joined, and I can actually, here, I'm going to go into a random room so that you guys can see. Let's see. Let's just go into here.
And get a feeling of how
oh wow, that was quick.
Runs for many people that be using.
So can you guys hear that?
Software to be able to use the app.
Is it sharing the audio?
I see that we have, I think we've gone.
Was it sharing the audio?
Yeah, but it's just low. It's like
Oh,
really
it's lower
Yeah.
than my voice, right?
Yeah, lower than your voice.
Okay, good. So, so as you can hear, like I just popped into that room and it was literally talking about whatever their topic was. So you can go into these different aspects here. Like I can go into this room.
Your deal breakers, like what will you allow to slide, and what is a deal breaker? Like you will re-record it.
Hi, this is Pretty speaking, and I'm
okay. So I see actually it's telling me heads up sharing recordings without the speakers from me. So whoops, didn't mean to do that. Because it can tell that I'm sharing my screen, so it's like you're not allowed to do that without their permission. So as you saw, I just popped into rooms or whatever it might be. I actually have some examples of what that looks like. Pretty much what it is at the top you can see the speakers that are up there. And then with the green moderator badge is the ones that are hosting the room. If they're at the top of the page, they are the ones hosting the room, talking in the room and everything like that. Different rooms have different aspects that you can, or different flows, I should say it is. So if you go into a room, sometimes they have that room where it's like, okay, the moderators are at the top and they are saying they're going in PTR order. So let's say that PTR order, which we're going to go into some of the terminology as well, means pull to refresh order. There are two terms or two things on Clubhouse that you have to be aware of. There is one, PTR, which will be used a lot, and that's just pulling down your screen, just like if I go to the top here, and if I pull down, you see that little dial at the top? That's me refreshing my screen, no matter where I'm on the app. So that's refreshing the page. You can do that in rooms. And when you do that, it will sometimes rearrange people on the stage because it goes based off of when people come into the room. So when they're going in PTR order, they are going around the room and saying, okay, like let's say after the moderators, it's me, and then it's Fabiola, and then it's Patty. Then they'll go to me, and then they'll go to Fabiola, et cetera. And they'll ask you like, okay, like, what do you want to add to this conversation? Or they'll ask you a specific question, or they'll just be like, do you have anything to add to the conversation? So there are some rooms that are structured like that. Sometimes there are rooms you can go into and it's just popcorn style, they call it. And you pretty much are just going in there and they're talking about a conversation and you can just chime in at any point without interrupting someone. So if you hear a break in a conversation, then you can chime in and be like, hey, can I add something to that? Always being mindful and respectful of rooms is really important to just make sure that you're not stepping on anybody's toes. Fabiola has actually been on the app for a little bit right now. I invited her, what was it, like a month ago or something like that? Was it a month ago? I don't know. I can check. But so she's been really delving into it and just really getting into some of the rooms. You just have to get used to the flow of things. I want to give Fabiola 2 seconds to just be able to speak a little bit before I continue. Fabiola, do you want to say a couple of words about like what your experience has been and everything as like a newbie on Clubhouse?
First of all, Lucie is amazing. She sat with me on the phone and she just went through Clubhouse with me. And I was trying to avoid Clubhouse by all means because I did not want another social media app to manage. But she convinced me. And I love it. I really do. I was listening to a room early on and the speaker said, if you want to really dive into Clubhouse, go in those smaller rooms. So for instance, what he means is, I don't know if you can see my phone, but you see this room, it says how many people are in there. It says 190. But if you go to explore and you go all the way to the bottom, you start seeing smaller rooms with only 6 people. And he said, go in those smaller rooms and just start talking. Get on stage, raise your hand, start talking to people. And let me tell you, the amount of people I've met just by doing that, like around the world, is insane. So I did that for about the first week, just going into these small rooms, less than 10 people, really talking with people, whatever the subject matter may be. I am a realtor, so I went into rooms that were, and I'm a mom, so I went into rooms that had to deal with being a mom or being a wife and being a realtor at the same time, those things, and really connected with those people and those other realtors in different states who now I have a referral base with because I took the time out just to go in those small rooms, raise my hand, get up on stage and say hello.
Absolutely. No, that's awesome. And I remember when me and Fabiola were talking, I was like, going to those rooms about being a mom. Like, she's such a mompreneur. I'm like, you just have to connect with people. There's plenty of real estate rooms that you can get into and such like that. And the more people you follow, whenever you're in a room and there's someone talking and they're interesting, make sure you go click on their face, which is their profile picture, go into their profile, follow them so that you guys can connect with them. And then hopefully if you get up on stage, also don't be afraid to get up on stage. Like, don't be afraid to raise your hand and just get up on there to be able to talk with people. So I'm upset that it thinks I'm trying to be mean and like and record people's rooms, which I get. So that aspect is there. But let me go ahead and reshare the thing here. Let me go to my presentation.
Did you want to like show the raise hand feature or something? I know
yeah,
when I
let
show
me
my
see
phone,
if I've got
best, but I don't want to go in a small room because I don't want them to pick on me.
I know, it's funny. Sometimes you'll actually go into a small room and they want people to come up and everything like that. So they will literally pull you up on stage. And if you see this big green thing across your across the top of your screen that says oh, so-and-so wants to invite you to speak, you have to click accept to be able to even come up on stage. Stephanie, go ahead.
I think I can do it real quick and just not go up on stage.
Yeah, with the like showing it through the phone. Yeah. Really quick, Stephanie has a question. So Stephanie, go ahead and
yes. I'm on the page where it says you have 2 invites, and then there's a list of all these people that are, I guess, from my contact list, and it says invite. So tell me about that page. Do you know where I am?
Yes. So you are on the invite page where I was when I was trying to invite you to the club. Mm-hmm. So those people are people who it's trying to encourage you to invite people. So okay. You have 2 invites, right?
Yes, but I don't see where they're clicked off. I don't understand where that is.
What do you mean where they're clicked off?
Well, who were those people that invited me besides you?
No, nobody else invited you but me. Only one person can invite you to the app.
Okay, so what does that mean? You have 2 invites.
That means
I'm allowed to invite 2 people?
Correct. It gives you the option to be able to invite 2 people. So, and also with the invites, keep in mind, so you get 2 invites. Those 2 invites that you get, try to invite people that you think are actually going to use the app. You only get 2 invites to start, and they actually base like the algorithm. Like if you invite 2 people and they never come on the app or they never use it, you're not going to get more invites. You might get more invites if you're like getting really involved with rooms and such like that. Like that's another way to get invites, but it helps if you're inviting people who are also engaging with the app. Otherwise it will, otherwise it will, just kind of trigger that you're inviting people who aren't even interested in the app. So just use them wisely on who you're inviting. Maybe invite people from your team so that you guys can create a little team on there. That's a good aspect to keep in mind. Okay. And I'll go over that a little bit with the networking too, but just a tidbit on that, getting everybody on your team, if you work in an office and such like that, starting rooms together, creating a power behind all of you guys to be able to create a sphere for you. You can talk about, new wave realty and talk about what you guys are doing different in this market or whatever it might be. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually, I have it on my screen here, Fabiola, so you actually don't have to do it. So Let me go ahead and share this. Treat your invites as if it was $1 million. That's what Fabiola says. Yes, awesome. Okay. So as you can see here, this is what a room looks like. All right, since I can't go into an actual room, I was hoping to be able to. But you'll see here at the top, you guys can see my little blue dot, right? On my screen, sharing. Yes. Okay, just making sure. So you see this hallway over here at the top? This is always going to be at the top, and you can always go back out. You can be in a room, and then when you click on hallway, you'll still be in the room, and it will minimize to the bottom of the screen. And you just, whenever you want to leave a room, you have to click the leave quietly button, which is here down here at the bottom. So this leave quietly button is how you leave a room. This plus button is how you invite other people that you follow to the room. This is the raise hand feature right here. So if you're in the audience is split up into 2 people. And just know, let me explain the room structure first. So here at the top, you have the topic. So there's coffee talk right here, right? That's the topic of the room. Then there is the moderator, and that is whoever has a green beam next to their name that you can see here. So that's the person that's running the room. This is what I was talking about before. There could be multiple moderators and everything like that. A lot of rooms there are, especially bigger rooms, people who are giving feedback and such. Then there are the people on stage. Remember I said PTR order. So for instance, if we were going in PTR order in this room, Julian would be first, then James, then Annette, then the fantastic whatever, and then Jason. So when people have their names like this, where it's, you know, the Fant and then ... you can click on their profile and you can see what the full name is. Usually it's just a long name or whatever it might be. There are some people on here, like on my profile, where they have creator names. So they're like their aliases, like I'm Lucie McGuire, that's my name, which is on my profile. But then I'm also known as the Traveling Lucie. So my name is the Traveling Lucie as my alias on there. And then when it looks up on the room, it looks like the Trav ... But people have to click on it to see my name, which isn't always a bad thing, because then it forces them to look at my profile to look at what my name is, because they're, oh, let's call me the Trav. But, you know, that's not necessarily anything that you guys will need to do because you'll have your first name and that's all you'll really need. Having a good profile picture is important. But here is the top, as you can see, this is the stage. This is what they call the stage. So then that is going to be at the top of your screen. When you scroll down, when you're in the room, you will see a portion that says followed by the speakers. So that portion is anybody who's up on stage. If they follow someone who's in the room, they will go into this portion of the room, which some people call the VIP box or whatever. It's just, there's no VIP anything to it. It's just, you know, someone who's speaking in the room. And then there's all the others in the room. So others in the room will show up down here at the bottom. So you can, when you're in a room, you're able to click on anybody's profile, go to their bios and everything like that, and see what they're doing, a little bit more about them. And we're gonna get a little bit into the etiquette of a bio and everything, because that's a very important aspect of that. So that's just a little bit about how the room is structured. And as you go into rooms, you'll see how they're structured. Again, don't be afraid to raise your hand, join the conversation if you have something to add to it. Like this room, Coffee Talk, they're literally just talking. Like, do not be afraid to just go up there, whatever they're talking about, add to it. That's how you're going to be able to connect with people. If you can add value on the app, all you have on this app is your profile picture, your bio, and your voice. That's what you got. I mean, you also have your Instagram that you can attach, but your voice is the main thing that you have on this app. So people are the first thing they're going to interact with you is what you have to say. So don't take that super critical. Like, don't be like, oh my God, I'm really like freaked out, I don't know what to say. Literally just say anything, just be yourself. You'll be able to tell very quickly on the app, like who's very just authentic. You can tell a lot from someone's voice. And that's what's made this app so incredible, is that people are connecting with other people because of their voice. They're just having a conversation and there's no distraction really behind it, because there's one profile picture, which you can't even really, get much from. Like Julian looks real happy. That's all about I know. So he looks like he's having a great old time. So, that's kind of like what all you get. And then if I hear Julian speak and then he's, all bubbly or whatever it might be, then I might want to talk with Julian. I might go and click on Julian's profile and be like, what's Julian do? So that's kind of where that starts with that aspect. Going into creating an effective bio, because that's the next step. You go into rooms, you start talking. If you're just in the audience and you're not speaking at all or anything like that, you're not going to be able to grow on this app. You do have to talk. You do have to communicate with people, but you guys talk to people all day, every day. You guys talk to strangers all day, every day. You guys talk to new people all the time, every networking event, every referral that you get that's from someone that you don't know or whatever it might be. So don't let things like that like distract you. And I think what's also nice is, we've all been in the Zoom world, right? We've all been in the Zoom world and we're like, we feel like we got to look good. We're like, okay, let me look good. Or, you might not even you guys have all of your profile pictures minus Fabiola are up, or your name, right? Because maybe you don't want to be on camera. So you're fit for Clubhouse because you don't have to be on camera for Clubhouse. Like all you have is your profile picture and you don't have to worry about what you look like. You don't have to worry about what you're doing. You could be cooking and listening to Clubhouse. You could be grocery shopping and listening to Clubhouse. You could be on the road and whatever it might be. It's like an interactive podcast, because with podcasts, you're just listening to podcasts and you can listen to them anywhere, right? But this is where you can actually go up on stage and engage with the conversation and have real conversation right then and there, no matter where you are in the world, which is just really cool. So the next step is, once you get on the stage and you're talking and everything, the next place people are going to go if they're interested in what you have to say is your bio. So creating an effective bio is important. Making sure you have a good profile picture. So make the top 2 lines of your profile like a hook or something that really describes what you do. Whether that be, Fabiola's might be, well, and I actually have hers on the next screen, so we'll go to that. But here, I'll even go to it right now. So we've got Fabiola right over here. She's famous. Look, guys. So you can see it says Leo, wife, girl mom, realtor, St. Lucie County, Florida. So that's good. She's now told people where she's at. That she's a realtor. She's a wife, cop wife, and the girl mom. Like, she's giving a good description of what she is, so that anybody who is focused on that might be like, oh, okay. And then click even further, because there's a little portion that will pop up that will be like, all you will see is this. You'll see her profile picture, her name, her tag or whatever, and her followers. And then it will cut off right here and it'll say ... And then once you do that, then they have to click again to be able to like pop or scroll up to be able to see the rest of your profile. So that's what you want to get them to do. You want them to intrigue them enough to be able for them to click into your profile. You want to make sure that your bio is easy to read for people. You don't want to just make it a big whole book long paragraph about you. You want to make it engaging for people to quickly be able to pick up on the things that you are about. Emojis are searchable as well in the bio. So make sure you're utilizing those emojis. Someone could look up a cop car or whatever that Fabiola had there, and they could come up with, it'll literally, in the search bar that I showed you guys earlier, it will pop up anybody who has that in their bio. So that's an important aspect. A keynote to know is that links do not work in the bio. Links don't work. There is no messaging aspect on this app. So they really want to focus on keeping it audio. But that is why you want to make sure that you're connecting your Instagram or your Twitter. If you have Twitter, I don't have Twitter. I don't do Twitter. But you want to make sure that your Instagram is attached. Also, before you start getting up on the stages, make sure you have a profile picture, make sure you have your Instagram attached, and make sure you have something in your bio, because if you have 0 followers, nothing in your bio, no Instagram attached, and a profile picture or some weird profile picture, they might not even allow you up on stage, because there have been a lot of trolls on the app, people who like have no profile picture, have no followers, have nothing about them. They'll come up on the stage and they'll just want to disrupt the stage. Why people would do that, people have nothing better to do in their lives, honestly. But Clubhouse actually takes it very seriously. If people come up and disturb the stage, like literally there's a quick way to be able to like report them, and they'll get banned from the app forever. Like, I'm like, why would you get banned for the app forever to go into a room for 2 seconds to like yodel or whatever you're gonna do? Like, it doesn't make sense to me, but it happens. So just know that before you start getting into rooms, just take a little bit of time to put your profile picture up, attach your Instagram, and put that bio together. And Instagram and Twitter, if you have Twitter, those are the only ways people can message you. So if you don't have that attached, then people can't contact you any further. So that's a good lead source. So once and we'll talk a little bit about more into that. So here you can see, here's 3 profiles, right? All of these got people are in real estate, and you can kind of see how they've structured it. Like he did, the little list portion with the emojis describing what he does. Fabiola has a little bit more specialized in what she does for first-time home sellers and new construction, et cetera, et cetera. And then over here, real estate entrepreneur, and talking about what rooms that he holds each week, and the people that he likes to connect with, and then telling people like if they need a moderator. Being able to connect with other people on here is really important. So if you see someone who's like, yeah, if you want a moderator to help like talk with, DM them, talk to them. Like, don't be afraid to open that conversation. You see where it says right here, call to action at the bottom. DMs are open, let's connect. So that means you can go to his Instagram right here. So you'll see this is Twitter, this is the Instagram. You can go to that Instagram, it'll bring you straight to his profile. You'll be able to click message and message them, and then you can actually connect with this person and maybe have this person in your room. And what's nice is as you're going into different rooms and hearing people talk, you can be like, oh, I liked what they had to say. Like, I think we're on the same path, like on the same wavelength or whatever, or I'd like to speak with them further. Then you can go to their profile, to their Instagram, and connect with them and talk with them. If for some reason you can't even, maybe you can even go up on stage and try and talk with them right then and there and let them know, hey, I'd love to connect with you. I think I love what you have to say. I think you talked really well on this, and this point. Maybe you could, I'd love to chat even more. And 99% of the time they're like, oh yeah, absolutely. So if you do that up on stage, then they're going to be looking for your message. And that's a great way to connect with people too. So with your bio, there's 4 aspects that I want you guys to kind of break it down with. Number 1 being what you do. So you being a realtor, you like what those key aspects are. Again, the top 2 lines are going to be what they show, and then you want to interest them enough to get them to continue scrolling. But also talk about why you do what you do. Don't just say, oh, I do this. I'm a realtor. Okay, great, you're a realtor. How many realtors are there in the world? So talk about why are you a realtor? I became a realtor because I wanted to help young professionals get into homes for the first time or whatever. Like, tell them the passion behind what you're doing and why you're doing it. And a little bit about yourself so that they can feel, engaged with you, and know that you're not doing it just for money or whatever. Talk about who you're trying to help. Fabiola did a great job at that. I specialize in first-time home sellers and new construction homes. Like, she's telling people what her specialization is. So here, any conversations on real estate strategies, business credit, and entrepreneur mindset. Like, let's talk about that. So, goal, helping to push forward the culture forward towards generational wealth and freedom, financial freedom. So like, people are telling you a little bit about themselves. It's not just like, hey, I'm an investor and entrepreneur, DM me. Like, it's different. So then tell them like who you are and who you're trying to help. And like I just mentioned with that, your target audience, which everybody in every business should have you have a target audience. If you don't know your target audience, you need to figure out what your target audience is. Obviously, that doesn't mean that you're limited to only those people, but talk about what your target audience is, so that your people, when they find you, they know that you're talking to them. You want to make sure you're talking to someone and not because if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to no one. So then the fourth being that call to action. At the bottom, make sure you are telling them, hey, my DMs are open. Follow me on Instagram. Even if you have like free resources for people, maybe you have like a first-time home buyer sheet or something like that, right? Like a top 10 tips for buying a house in 2021. Let's say you create that list or whatever it might be, and it's just a PDF format. Put it at the bottom of your profile and be like, if you want the top 10 tips to purchase in 2021 or to sell in 2021, DM me below, DM me. And then you can even put like, top tips, like as the word that they need to DM you to be able to get that. And then if they message you that, then you can send that to them. And now you have a connection with that person. And you've given them a resource and you're giving them value, because that's what they want. Everybody, that's what this whole app is about, is like giving value to other people. There are other people, y'all know who Grant Cardone is, I'm sure. Grant Cardone has been on this app since he literally like joined right when I joined, like in January. And like, he has been on the app like almost every day, like connecting with people. He's in rooms with people and just talking and just giving value. And like literally anybody can come up on stage and speak with this guy. But there's people all over the world that are very influential people that are on this app, giving value, talking with people and trying to help others. So just be, you never know who you're talking with. You never know. You really don't. So you might be surprised of some of the people that you come across on this app. I've connected with some really influential people that I would have never met. I would have never met them had I not been on this app. And like, we just happen to bond over travel. So that's what I want you guys to focus on with your bios. If you need any like additional help or maybe like brainstorming with some things, you guys can always reach out to me. Are there any questions on the bios before I kind of move on to like the last little bit of there? No? Okay. So really quick, I want you to know how to navigate when you're going to someone's bio, how to navigate that bio really quick. So you'll see their profile picture that's up here. And you can click on that and make it bigger. So he says, DM me Clubhouse, so that whatever you guys are talking about, then he knows you're from Clubhouse. So that's always a great thing when you are trying to connect with people. You can always connect with people and be like, hey, I heard you talk on Clubhouse, like loved what you had to say about this, blah, blah, blah. And that makes people like want to respond to you. Like, oh my God, they were listening to me in a room. Like that's like the connecting aspect. So this is the follow button. When you click that, it will then say following. If they follow you, I'm actually going to go back really quick to Fabiola. So you can see here, I'm following her right here. And then you can see if they follow you back, it says right here, follows you. So that's where you'll be able to know if that person is following you back or not. So back here, this guy, you can see his followers. There's his profile picture. Down here, here's his Instagram. So this is where his Instagram is attached, and people can click on this and go straight to his Instagram so that they can see what is on there. That's the next step. When someone's interested enough in you and your bio and everything like that, and they want to connect further, they're going to click on your Instagram, and it's going to feed followers to your Instagram as well, which is great. I mean, Instagram's a whole nother platform to get from, and I've gained like 500 followers just from being on Clubhouse and talking, because if they like what you have to say enough, they will automatically go to your profile, read a little bit about you, go to your Instagram and start following you on there so that they can see even more about you, which is what you want. That's you getting even more people in your sphere to be able to connect with on a daily basis through your Instagram stories or through your posts or whatever it might be. As you can see on here too, right down here, you can see that you can see when they joined, you can see who they were nominated by. Like if you click on this, you can actually go to her profile and see that she nominated him or whatever and what she does. And you can actually, it's kind of fun. You can actually go through all the way back and like see the first person that invited, like it's like a chain or whatever. It's kind of funny. But you can also see here that he put his email and his phone number in here. Those are aspects that you can also have on your Instagram. Yes, Fabiola said that's another reason why invites are so important, because your name is then attached with that person. So make sure that you're, inviting people that you think are credible, which I don't think you guys would do anyways, but don't just meet someone on the street and be like, yeah, you want an invite? Like, you don't know what they're going to talk about on that. You don't need that. So yeah, that's the second portion that you're going to be looking at on the profile aspect. This is where you can see who they're following. Oh. Okay, that's where you can see who they are following and then who's following them. And then the next portion, you can see what clubs they're a member of. So this is where you can go to your actual profile as well, and you can see different clubs that you're a part of if you ever need to get to the clubs. And then this will show all the clubs that you're a member of. So you can, what they're a member of, maybe you might find a connection that you guys are part of the same club or whatever it might be. Or maybe that's how you can actually find new clubs to be a part of when you hear people who are interested or interesting in what they're talking about. So that's kind of the little aspects of someone's profile that when you're looking at their profile, the things you want to look at, as well as you can find the same things on your profile. Thanks, Stephanie. Yeah, we're wrapping up. And this will also be available on YouTube for the replay too. So you'll be able to catch up and rewatch and such like that. But glad that we could help, Stephanie. So really quickly, I want to go over some strategies to grow on this app. There are so many things that you can do on this app. We've talked about them throughout this, but being consistent on the app is really important. Don't go on it once a month. You're not going to get anything from it. You really get what you put, just like any social media. That's probably the one thing that it has in common with the other social medias is that you get what you put into it. Just same thing with Instagram, same thing with Facebook, YouTube, all of that. I think you get even more from this app than you do from the other social medias because it's so much easier to connect with people on like that one-on-one basis, or that you can literally speak with them rather than type. We all know that a phone call is more powerful than a text message, right? So you can actually hear the inflection in people's voices. It's just a lot different. So being consistent on there, talking with people is a great way to be able to connect with people on there consistently. And you'll see people all around Clubhouse. If you recognize people, you can be like, oh, hey, I saw you in another room. Like I always love to hear from you, etc. That makes people think that you notice them, which is good. You want people to think about and notice you as well. Add value to the rooms that you join. Don't just sit in the audience, raise your hand, just add something. Doesn't even matter what it was. Just add something, get comfortable with talking. And that's always a great addition as well. So when you go into rooms and add the value, you can even start your own rooms. So if there is like a room that you want to start about a specific topic, maybe Fabiola wants to talk about being a mompreneur realtor, and she's had conversations with other people. Maybe she could talk about Florida mompreneur realtor or whatever it might be, and like specify it for something like. Or she can even do a room, like, let's say, because I just know Fabiola well, she can say, oh, are you a mom looking to move to Florida? So she can be like, she can start a room about that. When she starts to connect with all these other moms that are in real estate too, they'll be following her, she'll be following them. They might jump into their room, try and help. She can find other mom realtors who are in the area or maybe in Florida and other parts of Florida, and talk about the different aspects of moving to Florida as a mom, if there's might be special programs or whatever it might be. Make yourself a key aspect in the real estate world. You want to niche down and make sure that people know that you're an expert in your field, because if there's one thing, think about the one thing that you can literally talk forever about. That's what you need to be talking about. And real estate's one of those things, but you can tie into that. Like, what can you just talk about forever about and never get bored of, or whatever it might be. Those are the conversations you want to have with people. And yeah, don't be afraid to start your own room, but get comfortable with the app a little bit, but then, you know, don't be afraid. Again, if you ever have any questions about it, you can reach out to me. Explore your passions to meet people. We talked about that earlier. Just make sure that, you know, whatever it might be, explore. You can learn a lot on Clubhouse. There's a lot of informational rooms. There's a lot of rooms that you can connect with people on that are, you never know. You never know who's looking to move to Florida. I know a lot of people that are looking to move to Florida right now, that I've met on the app and everything. And you never know, maybe they didn't know anything about Florida. A lot of people don't know about the Treasure Coast. So there's a lot going on there. You can tell them all about the special things that we have here. Of course, you know, buyers right now, we have plenty of buyers and we need sellers, but you know, maybe you can even connect with like, maybe the people up north that are looking to, that have second homes down here and they're not planning on coming back here or whatever it might be. Like you can go to different strategies. Collaborate with others in real estate. I think that there's so much potential. The real estate aspect of this app has grown a little bit, but it's not like Florida real estate isn't really covered. There's some other clubs on there, but they don't have a lot of members. I'm actually going to tell you guys about a club that I have that we can all connect on there. Yes, Renee asked, is the app still in beta testing? It is. It is still just for iPhone, but they are rolling out the Android aspect of it right now. So they're doing like a small beta portion for Androids, but probably towards the end of this month or in the next month or two, it will be open to the public and it won't be in beta anymore. So there's some big things to come. That's why it's so important to get on here now and start connecting with people before it kind of like gets oversaturated. So, okay. Yeah, Renee has an Android, she says. So, yeah, I will definitely keep you updated on when that is. But collaborate with other people in real estate, because you can have a conversation about, like, let's say you want to talk about Florida real estate, and you want to talk about the Panhandle versus moving down to the Keys or Miami versus the Treasure Coast versus the West Coast. You can get people from those different areas and you can search that on there. You can search an area. Like think about Fort Myers. Go to the search bar and search Fort Myers Realtor. I'm sure you'll find someone. And then you can connect with them, and maybe they don't have a huge following. Maybe they're looking to get connected or whatever, and you can bring in their expertise about what's happening in their market over there. And then you guys start a room together and host it together and talk about the differences between the West Coast and the East Coast. Or you can take it to the worldwide aspect of connecting with, Fabiola said she's connected with people all over the world and referral sources. You can talk with people in California, Washington, Arizona, Texas, anywhere. You can look up and use that search feature and be like, hey, looking for, like, you could just look up Texas Realtor or whatever it might be. The top 3 places that people are moving to right now are Arizona, Texas, and Florida. That might be a great conversation to have. Let's talk about why are those 3 places blowing up and how their markets are looking, and you having that conversation and you being a moderator in that room where you can pull in someone else's. If I'm on there, I have 4,300 followers. And then let's say I pull in someone who has another 4,000 followers. It will notify people that you're in that room, and it will show up on people's hallway, and then they'll be able to see, okay, hey, like these people are having a conversation about this topic, and then they can go into the room and then they can be like, okay, like this is a great topic or whatever it might be. They can come up and chime in, or they can ask questions. You can encourage people to ask questions about what you do. And all of those aspects make you an expert in your field when you're answering their questions, telling them what's going on, and just being an expert in your field. So any aspect that you can do that with. So yeah, like I just said, search and follow people that you want to connect with. If you want to start making connections with other people in other areas, you can go and do, like if you want to connect with someone in Texas, like I was just saying, you can go and connect with these people and then invite them to be where you are, or just follow them and then just see what rooms they go into and what they're talking about. And you can always get new ideas. And then just direct message people on Instagram and talk to people on Instagram, and try and make that actual connection with them to see if they're interested in joining something with you. A lot of times they're going to be. A lot of people what's really nice right now is that everybody's trying to grow their following on this app. So they're going to take every opportunity to be able to host a room with you. Maybe they have less followers, or maybe they have less followers than you. Maybe they have more followers than you. And if you can get multiple people and make everyone a moderator of that room, then you can bring in a group of people, and it's just a great aspect. So speaking of clubs though, we actually created a club on there. And I know Stephanie joined and Patty, I don't know if I got you on there or not yet, but the Florida Treasure Coast Real Estate. There was like barely any clubs about Florida real estate. Again, they didn't have much of a following on there either. So I was like, okay, I'm going to start this for the Treasure Coast with Treasure Coast real estate aspects and have people come on there. One, I'm going to be hosting rooms about how to engage better with people on here, maybe walking you through things if you guys have questions, kind of like what I did with Fabiola. And, if you want a one-on-one or whatever it might be, I'm going to be doing like the little rooms where it's like talking about ways that you can grow, start your own room, how to moderate, like moderating skills and how to better moderate rooms and such, and kind of flows that you guys can do. And then you guys can join this when you go to a club that you haven't joined before. There's a little follow button up here. You click follow, and then I can actually invite you to be a member of the club. And I'm only allowing members to be people who are in the real estate industry here. And once you are a member, you can invite other people to the app. So if you have a team or whatever it might be, what's going to be nice about this is that everybody can collectively bring their expertise to this club, and you can start your own rooms underneath this club. And what's nice is that it shows you at the top of the page, it says Florida Treasure Coast Real Estate. So they know that that's where you're at. And then you can create like whatever room about anything, like, how's the market doing, or changes in real estate, or new construction right now is booming. And like, you can create rooms about these topics, and it will be underneath the club. And what it will do is it will notify everyone who's in that club or follows that club that you're doing that room right then. So not only is it open to the public, but it's also going to notify the people who already follow the club. And we're going to be growing this club a lot to make sure that everybody's getting value from it. I've made the bio about like thinking of moving to Florida. This is a resource aspect so that people can find you on this. If they want to move to Florida, they can go through the members list and find you, and it's a referral source. So it shows you where we're situated, north of Miami and 2 hours south of Orlando, the counties that we have, welcoming realtors and lenders. And also we're probably going to bring in some other people too, like electricians or whatever it might be. And like, we can talk about different aspects of our industry and what's changing, roofing, all the things that are changing in our world here. So it's just going to be a really great resource. Make sure you guys join the club. We have our first room that is going to be this upcoming Monday at 8 a.m. And we're going to try and do every single day, Monday through Friday. So Monday is going to be at 8 a.m. and Friday is going to be at 8 a.m. And then Tuesday, Thursday, and Wednesday, I'm going to try and do some in the afternoon, like late afternoon. So we're going to see kind of how people structure, but those are just going to be public rooms. And we're going to talk about Florida real estate and everything. You guys are welcome to join in on the conversation, add your expertise. You have us who are moderating. So you'll be able to, join a room and be a little bit more comfortable with chatting because it's not someone random just talking at the top of the room. So feel free to come in there, add to the conversation. This will be a great starter room for you guys to just like get a feel for it and see kind of how the flow goes. And how moderating kind of happens and everything like that. Of course, you guys can go into the app right now and kind of get your feet wet and stuff like that. So as you can see here, talking Florida real estate. Are you curious about real estate in Florida? We're talking about how the market has shifted in the past year because of COVID and such. So join that club, join our room on Monday at 10 a.m. Patty, you're welcome to join us on the moderator panel and be a part of that. I know that you are already on the app and everything, and we've talked about you being a part of that if you want, or you can just pop into the room, whatever it might be. It's a great learning aspect. So that's what we're going to be doing it as. If you ever want to be more involved, you guys can join in, get the tools and figure it out as you go and ask those questions. So Marsh, I know that you were kind of absent earlier when we were doing the whole inviting thing. Do you already have an invite to the app? No, you're not on the app already? Okay. So can you, do you want an invite? Because we can go, I just feel bad because you missed it earlier. Okay. All right, go ahead and you can go ahead and message me your number because he's direct messaging me, right, guys? I know you can't see it. So just message me your number and then I'll go ahead and get you on the app and you can get started and everything. Are there any other question? Is that a cell phone number, Marsh? Yeah. Okay, just making sure. You have to use the same number. Okay, when I invite you. So are there any other questions in regards to what we've talked about today? All right, so this, do stay tuned because this replay will be available on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel, Arrow Title Services. And yeah, so we're on all the social medias, all the fun stuff. So does anybody have any feedback or anything that they want to add? Fabiola, thank you for being here and sharing your experience as well in the app. And it's been crazy. There's so much to learn from it all and like people to connect with. So I'm glad that you were able to share your experience. So, all right, no, all right. So Marsh, I'll be sending you an invite. It'll be via text. Patty, thank you for being here as well. And hopefully you learned something from it. So I see you said it was great. So good. And looking forward to seeing you guys in the future. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. I'll go ahead and put in my phone number. I know Patty has it. And Marsha's about to get it anyway. So that's my phone number. You can text me, call me, whatever it might be. If you have any questions about it, find me on Clubhouse. And we will go ahead and help you guys out and get you guys started. And hey, I just want to say huge kudos to you guys who are taking the steps because a lot of realtors in our area aren't. And the ones who are, you guys are going to benefit from this if you put time into this. And I think it's the next biggest thing. It's like TikTok, but it's Clubhouse and it's way better and cooler than TikTok. So thank you guys for being here. Marsh, your invite is coming. And thank you very much. We'll talk to you guys soon.